Okay. Sorry guys, my laptop is suddenly switched off and lost the host to share PPT. Right. Right. Yesterday we are doing this problem under which we were completed the A and B bits. So let us see the C bit, which is the exact transmission line equation method. Okay. So go to the C exact transmission line equation. So now if you observe the exact transmission line equations for sending in voltage and sending in current. So the voltage equations which are represented in the matrix form as like this. Okay. So VSIS is equal to cos H gamma L ZC sin H gamma L 1 by ZC sin H gamma L cos H gamma L into VR IR. Okay. So this is the matrix form representation of exact transmission line equations. Okay. Now here you have to find out the sending end voltage, sending end current, and power factor. Right. If you observe from this equation, so Vs can be written as Vs is equal to cos gamma L into VR plus Zc into sin H gamma L into IR. So Is can be written as 1 by Zc sin H gamma L into VR plus cos H gamma L into IR. Okay. So in all the equations, you will be having the gamma L, right? So now this gamma L can be written as this gamma is a complex number, right? Gamma is a complex number which will be in the form of alpha plus j beta. Okay. So gamma, which is equal to underscore root small y small z, so which is called the propagation constant. So now the value of this gamma is a complex number. Okay. So let us call that complex number will be in the form of alpha plus j beta. Then so gamma get as alpha L plus j beta L. Okay. So this can also be written as underscore root yz. So from as you know before, so gamma is the root yz. So gamma L is equal to root yz into L, or you can write underscore root L square. You can write, so which is equal to y into small y into L into small z into L, which is underscore root. Okay. So now small y into L can be written as capital Y, which is the total admittance. Small z into L can be written as capital Z, which is under square root. So that is this one. Okay. So now this gamma L you have to first find out. Okay. So now if you see here, you know the value of capital Y and capital Z, which are given in the problem itself. Okay. So if you see once the problem, okay. So the total series impedance Z value is given as 40 plus J 125 ohms, and total admittance is 10 power minus 3 ohms. So Z can be written as 131.2 at an angle of 72.3 degrees. Y can be written as 10 power minus 3 at an angle of 90 degrees. Okay, these two values are given in the problem itself. So you substitute those two values here. Okay. So y is 10 power minus 3 at an angle 90 degrees. Z is 131.2 at an angle of 72.3 degrees. Right. So now when you solve this equation, you will get the 0.0554 plus j 0.3577. Now here if you observe this gamma L, which is in the form of alpha L plus j beta L. So this equation. So gamma L is equal to alpha plus j beta L. So this value again is the gamma L. Okay. So alpha L can be equal to, so alpha L is equal to this value 0.0554, and j beta L is equal to j 0.3577. That means BL is a 0.3577. Okay. Now if you express this in polar form, you will get gamma L as 0.362 at an angle of 81.2 degrees. Okay. Right. So this gamma value is a complex number. Okay, you got the complex number. Now if you want to calculate the cos h of gamma L, so gamma L is a complex number. Cos h of this number if you want to calculate, so you cannot get the value by using your calculators. Okay, so you have to use some methods for evaluating the ABCD. So these A, B, C, D, all parameters will be having these hyperbolic functions cos h, sin h. Okay, cos h of that complex number cannot be determined. So for determining the hyperbolic function of a complex number, you have to use some methods. We were discussed the evolution of ABCD method. Okay, 3 methods we were discussed. Out of those 3 methods, you can use any method. Okay, so let's see. Let us see. Cos h alpha L, you first you calculate cos h alpha L. In place of alpha L, you can write this alpha L plus j beta L. Okay, so cos h of alpha L plus j beta L is equal to. So now you know that cos h of x can be written as cos hx can be written as e power x plus e power minus x by 2. Okay, so you know this from the trigonometry. Okay, hyperbolic function cos h of x can be written as e power x minus plus e power minus x by 2. Okay, now in place of x you are having the this alpha L plus j beta L. Okay, so in place of x here you substitute alpha L plus j beta L. So then how you can write this? So 1 by 2, this 1 by this 2, you keep it aside 1 by 2. So then what you will get the term e power x. So e power x here nothing but e power alpha L plus j beta L. Okay, alpha L plus j beta L. This can be written as, so this value can be written as e power alpha L into e power j beta L. Okay, you can write like this. This total e power alpha L plus j beta L can be written like this. Okay, now what is this e power j beta L can be again can be written as this will be at an angle of beta L. So that means e power alpha L in alpha L at an angle of beta L you will get. Okay, so here you are having this e power alpha L into e power alpha L at an angle of beta L. In a similar manner, if you want to calculate this e power minus x, x plus again in place of x you have to substitute alpha L plus j beta L. So here you will get minus. Okay, here also you will get minus, here also you will get minus. So then e power minus alpha L at an angle of minus beta L you will get. Okay, right. So now this cos h alpha L plus j beta L can be written as 1 by 2 into e power alpha L at an angle of beta L plus e power minus alpha L at an angle of minus beta L. Okay, so now what is beta L here? So beta L is the angle which is equal to 0.3577. So which is in terms of radians. Okay, so this value is in terms of radians. Now you convert that into degrees. Okay, so radians can be converted into degrees. Pi radians is equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so now 1 radian is equal to 360 by pi degrees. Okay, so the 360 by pi in degrees. So here to get the 0.3577 radians, you have to multiply this 0.3577 into 360 by pi. Okay, then you will get the angle. Beta L is initially you will get in radians. You convert that into degrees. So to convert radians into degrees, you have to multiply the value with 360 by pi. So then you will get the angle as 20.49 degrees. Okay, so beta L is the 20.49 degrees. So now you calculate e power alpha L. Alpha L again here is 0.0554. Okay, e power 0.0554, which is at an angle of beta L here is 20.49 degrees. Okay, the first term. So this term e power alpha L at an angle of beta L is equal to this value e power in place of alpha L 0.0554 and beta L is the angle of 20.49 degrees. Okay, so now if you calculate this value, so you will get 1.057 at an angle of 20.49 degrees. And in complex form, this will be 0.99 plus j 0.37. Okay, so this value is only this part, first one. Okay, e power alpha L at an angle beta L. So in a similar manner, you calculate the value of e power minus alpha L at an angle of minus beta L. Again here, alpha L is your 0.0554 and beta L is the 20.49 degrees. So you calculate here, you substitute those values there. So then you will get e power minus 0.0554 at an angle of minus 20.49 degrees. Now if you calculate this with calculator, you will get 0.95946 at an angle of minus 20.49 degrees. So if you convert into complex form, this one 0.886 minus j 0.331 you will get. Okay, so this is the value of this. So now you substitute these two values in this equation, you will get cos gamma L. Okay, cos gamma L is equal to, so this is the cos gamma L only. Okay, in place of gamma L, you are writing this alpha L plus j beta L. So the cos gamma L is equal to 1/2 into this plus this. Okay, so then if you do the sum, then you will get cos h alpha gamma L as 0.38 938 plus j 0.02. Okay, so in polar form, this can be written as 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees. Okay, so in this, in similar manner, you can also calculate the sin h gamma L. Okay, so in place of sin h gamma L, here you will get minus. Okay, e power minus x, e power x minus e power minus x by 2. Okay, so then if you calculate that value sin h gamma L, so then the value what you are getting here is 0.052 plus j 0.35. So in polar form, this value is 0.354 at an angle of 81.5 degrees. Okay, see here ma, you have to follow this method, else you cannot get the direct value cos h gamma L. Okay, if you calculate the cos h gamma L with your calculator, you will not get you will get math error. Okay, so you have to use this procedure to get the value of cos h gamma L as well as sin h gamma L also. Okay, now after getting cos h gamma L and sin h gamma L, you can determine the ABCD parameters. Okay, so once you get the ABCD parameter, you can calculate the VS and IS also, right? See, so now here in ABCD parameters, you will be having D as C as 1 by ZC sin h gamma L and B as ZC into sin h gamma L. Okay, so to calculate, let us see what is ZC here. ZC is the characteristics impedance, so which is equal to under square root small z by small y actually. Okay, ZC is equal to under square root small z by small y, right? So now again, if you multiply this with the numerator and denominator with the L, then there is no change. So this can also be written as under square is capital H Z by capital Y also. Okay, so Z is the total impedance and Y is the total admittance. You know the values of Z and Y, right? Z value is 131.2 at an angle of 72.3 degrees and Y value is 10 power minus 3 at an angle of 90 degrees, which are given in the problem itself. So the value of ZC is 362.21, which is at an angle of minus 8.85 degrees. Okay, now after calculating the value of ZC, so what is A and what is D? Okay, if you see here in this equation, exact solution, A and D parameters both are equal. Okay, A and D both are equal, which is equal to cos h gamma L. Okay, that cos h gamma L value is this one, so 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees. And B here is this value, B is equal to ZC sin h gamma L and D is 1 by ZC sin h gamma L. Okay, so here A is equal to D, which is cos h gamma L, that value is 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees, and B is ZC sin h gamma L, and the value of ZC is this one, 362.21 at an angle of minus 8.85 degrees, and sin h gamma L we were calculated previously, which is 0.354 at an angle of 81.5 degrees. So you substitute those two values, then you will get the beta parameter as 128.2 at an angle of 72.65 degrees. Okay, So in the similar manner, you calculate the C. So C value is 1 by ZC sin H gamma L. Okay. Again, you substitute the value of ZC and sin H gamma L in this equation. You will get the constant C as 9.77 into 10 power minus 4, which is at an angle of 90.4 degrees. Okay. So now you got the all ABCD parameters of the transmission line also. Right. Now from this equation, this exact solution, you can say that so Vs is equal to, so suppose if it is A and if it is B, if it is C and if it is D, so then Vs can be written as A into Vr plus B into IR. Okay. So by using this equation, you can calculate the sending end voltage. Okay. So in a similar way, Is can be written as C into Vr plus D into IR. Okay. So now you know the values of A, B, C, D, and you also know the values of VR and IR. Okay. So we were calculated it previously. You see here. So VR value is 127 at an angle 0 degree. VR is the reference, so it is at an angle of 0 degree. 127 is the phase voltage. Okay. And IR value is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. Okay. You know the values of IR, VR, and you also know the values of A, B, C, D parameters. Now you can calculate the sending end voltage and sending end current. Okay. So now sending end voltage is by using this equation. So A into VR plus B into IR, right? So sending end voltage is equal to A value is this value 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees, and VR value is 127 plus B value here is sorry, this is for B problem number here we have to see. Okay. So we were calculated the ABCD parameters here for exact transmission line solution. So now Vs is equal to A here is 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees into 127 VR value plus B value is this one 128.2 at an angle of 72.65 degrees, and IR value is 0.164 at an angle of minus 36.9 degrees. Okay. So now if you calculate with your calculator, you will get the Vs as 136.97, which is at an angle of 6.2 degrees. Okay. So which is in kilovolts, right? So this is the Vs value, and if you take only the magnitude of Vs, and that is also for line, so then the magnitude of Vs is this value 136.97 degrees. This is for one phase, per phase value. Okay. If you want the line voltage, you have to multiply this 136.97 with √3. So √3 into phase value. Okay. Then you will get the sending end voltage, which is the line to line voltage as 237.23 kilovolts. Okay. So you got the sending end voltage. Now by using this equation, you calculate the sending end current also. Okay. Sending end current Is is equal to C into VR plus D into IR. Okay. C value here is 9.77 into 10 power minus 4 at an angle of 90.4 degrees, and VR value is 127, and D value here is 0.938 at an angle of 1.2 degrees, and IR value is 0.164 at an angle of 36.9 degrees. Now if you calculate this value, the sending end current what you are getting here is 0.1286 at an angle of 15.3 degrees, so which is in kilo amperes. Okay. So now you got sending end voltage as well as sending end current. Okay. So now you calculate the power factor, sending end power factor. Okay. To calculate the sending end power factor, you need to find out the angle, sending end power factor angle, phi s. So which is the angle between your sending end voltage Vs and sending end current Is. Okay. So what is the angle between this Vs and Is? Okay. So now let us draw a simple vector diagram. So now here in this problem, VR is your reference. Okay. So now this voltage, sending end voltage is, which is 136.97 at an angle of 6.2 degrees. Okay. This is plus 6.2. So your sending end voltage, this voltage will be leading the reference voltage by an angle of 6.2 degrees. Okay, this is the value of Vs. Okay, in similar way, if you see the sending end current Is, that value is 0.1286 at an angle of 15.3 degrees. So this 15.3 also plus 15.3 degrees. So the current also will lead the reference. That means current will be leading the VR at an angle of 15.3 degrees. Okay, so this is the 15.3 degrees. This value, this is the Is. So now this phi s is the angle between your Vs and Is. The angle between this Vs and Is is 15.3 minus 6.2. Okay, so 15.3 minus 6.2. Okay, this is the sending end power factor angle, and power factor is equal to cos phi s. Okay, cos phi s, which is equal to cos of this angle. Okay, you will get the sending end power factor. Right, that sending end power factor is equal to cos of 15.3 minus 6.2, which is 0.987, which is a leading power factor here. Okay, so the current sending end current is leading the voltage Vs. Okay, if you see, if you observe the vector diagram, your voltage, your current is leading the voltage, sending end voltage. So the power factor is leading power factor. Okay, and you got the Vs, Is, and power factor. Then sending end power can be calculated simply as √3 into VL IL cos phi. Okay, so as it is sending end power, so √3 into Vs into Is into cos phi s you will get. Vs, all Vs and Is values here are line values. So Vs line value is 237.23 and Is line value will be same as the phase value, which is equal to 0.1286, and power factor is 0.987. So you will get the total sending end power as 52.15 megawatts. Okay, so like this you can calculate the sending end voltage, current, power, power factor for a transmission line by using all methods, which is short run approximation method, nominal pi method, and exact transmission line equation. Now if you observe the answers or solutions for all these three methods, so then and if you tabulate those values, you can write like this. Okay, so for short run approximation, this sending end voltage, sending end line voltage you are getting is 251.2 kilovolts, and for nominal pi method it is 238 kilovolts, and for exact solution 237.23 kilovolts. Okay, and sending end current for short transmission line or short line approximation is 0.164, which is at an angle of 36.9 degrees in kiloamps. For nominal pi it is 0.13 at an angle of 16.5 degrees, and for exact solution it will be 0.1286 at an angle of 15.3 degrees, so which is in kiloamps. And power factor, if you observe for short line approximation, it is 0.745, and for nominal pi 0.984 leading, and for exact it is also 0.987 leading. And total power for this transmission line, when you do by using short line approximation, is 53.2 megawatts, and for nominal pi it is 52.7, and for exact it is 52.15. Okay, we were calculated all these values. Okay, now if you observe all these results, if you see the exact solution as well as your nominal pi method. Now if you see here, voltage is 238, this is 237.23, that means almost near to each other only. Okay, so here current also 0.13, here also 0.128, almost near, and power factor is also 0.984, here 0.987, almost near, and power, total power, sending end power is 52.7, here 52.15. Okay, actually this is the exact solution. Okay, so now if you observe the nominal pi method also, you are getting almost near to your exact solution. Okay, so now if you see the problem here, so this problem is a transmission line which is having a length of 300 kilometers. Okay, so up to 300 kilometers you can use nominal pi method for calculating the sending end voltage, current and power factor, or anything, voltage regulation and efficiency, right? So those method, this nominal pi method will give the nearly accurate results. Okay, so which is same as this. If you observe these two, almost they are near to each other. So but if you observe the exact solution with your short line approximation, so if you observe with these results with the exact solution, so you see you are getting Vs line voltage as here in for short line approximation it is 251.2. Here exact value is 237.23. Okay, there is a much difference is there. Okay, so now current is 0.164 here for short line approximation. Here it is 0.1285. That means almost which is in kilo amperes. Okay, so there is much current difference is also there. Okay, and power factor, if you observe, sending in power factor by using short line approximation is lagging. Here you are getting exact solution is leading, and power also sending in power here is 53.2, here it is 52.14. From this you can say that short line approximation will give the more errors when compared to nominal pi method in case of a transmission line which is having a length of up to 300 kilometers. Okay, so this is your problem. Okay, understood, ma? Is there any doubt here? You see another problem similar to the previous case itself. Okay, so here we will do only for longer. Here it is a long transmission line. Long transmission line, it is delivering a load of 60 mega MVA at 124 kilovolts, 50 hertz, and power factor of 0.8, which is lagging. And resistance of the line is 25.3 ohms. Reactance is 66.5 ohms, and admittance due to charging capacitance is 0.442 into 10 power minus 3 mho. So then find the ABCD constant, sending end voltage, current, and power factor, regulation, efficiency of the line. Okay, so here a long transmission line is given. So that long transmission line is delivering a load value is given in terms of MVA. Okay, 60 MVA is the load value, and the voltage at the load is 124 kilovolts, and the power factor is 0.8 power factor lagging, and also resistance of the line is given. Okay, total resistance of the line is capital R, which is equal to 25.3 ohms, and the reactance value is 66.5 ohms, and admittance capital Y is 0.442 10 power minus 3 mho. Okay, so resistance and reactance, if you know, you can calculate the impedance Z. Z is 25.3 plus J 66.5 ohms, and Y is the admittance value. So this is due to the capacitance, right? So capacitance admittance can be written as J 0.442 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, so what is this J represents? So this magnitude at an angle of 90 degrees. That means your capacitance makes an angle of 90 degrees with your reference. Okay, so now you have to calculate the ABCD constant for your transmission line, long transmission line. Okay, so that's the analysis of long transmission line will be generally done by using rigorous solution or exact solution method, right? In that ABCD constant are these. So A is equal to cos h gamma L, which is also same as D. A is equal to D, which is equal to cos h gamma L, and B value is ZC into sin h gamma L, and C value is 1 by ZC into sin h gamma L. Here again, you have to you cannot calculate directly the value of cos h gamma L by using your calculator. Why? Because this gamma L is a complex number. Okay, so that gamma L can be written as gamma here is propagation constant, which is equal to underscore it small z into small y into L. So this can be written as underscore it capital Z into capital Y. So if you calculate the gamma L value, so then what you are getting is a complex number. So which value, that value is equal to 0.0327 plus J 0.174. Okay, this is a complex number. So now hyperbolic function sin h or cos h of a complex number cannot be determined directly by using your calculators. Okay, so you have to use some alternative methods for determining these two values. Okay, So previously we have done already for the previous problem also. So you repeat the same procedure here or there. Okay, A is equal to T, which is equal to cos H gamma L. Okay, so cos H of underscore it this value. Okay, so cos H of underscore it this YZ is YZ here is 0.03217 plus J 0.174. Okay, so now if you type this in your calculators, you will get math error. Okay, so you have to calculate by using any other alternative method, and that value finally you are getting here is 0.986 at an angle of 0.32 degrees. Okay, how you can calculate this value? So by using calculator you cannot know. So then you expand this. So cos h of you a plus b, you know that. Okay, cos h of a plus b is equal to cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. Okay, so now here a here is this value, so 0.03217, and b value here is this value, so j 0.174. That means a is a real number and b is a complex number, so purely complex. Okay, so now, so that means cos beta, it is a complex number. So this is also, here beta is a complex number. Now what is this cos of I theta? Sorry, cos h of, so these are h, cos ha, cos hb, sin ha, sin hb. Okay, cos h of I theta can be written as cos theta. Okay, and sin h of I theta can be written as I sin theta. So sin h of I theta can be written as I sin theta. Okay, so in these two terms, this term and this term, we are getting a complex number j 0.174. So let us call this as j theta. Okay, that theta value here is 0.174 value. Now cos ha, a here is a real number only, so you can, there is no problem with that number. Okay, so now if you use these two formulas, now you can use your calculator for calculating those values. Okay, so now this can be expanded as cos h of a is cos h 0.03217 into cos h beta, cos h of j 0.174 can be written as cos 0.174. So you know the cos 0.174 value, you can calculate by using your calculator. Okay, in a similar manner, sin h a you can sin h a can be calculated as sin h of a value is 0.03217. That value you can calculate with your calculator. Sin beta, so sin h beta is sin h of this complex number. Again, that complex number sin h of I theta can be written as I sin theta. So this total term is your I of some value. Okay, this total number is a real number only. So that value, if you finally convert into polar form, you will get this value. So which is a. So a or d both are same, which is equal to 0.986 at an angle of 0.32 degrees. Okay. So right, b here is zc into sin h gamma l. Okay, so before calculating this value, you have to calculate sin h gamma l. Okay, so in a similar manner as this. Okay, sin h gamma l here, and gamma l here is a complex number again, so which is this value. So this value, this is the value of gamma l, 0.03217 plus j 0.174. Right, now sin h of this value you have to calculate. Okay, it will be like sin h of a plus b. Again, you use the sin h of a plus b is equal to sin h of a cos h of b plus cos h of a cos h of b. Okay, Again, there also you will get cos h of one complex number and sin h of complex number. Again, you use the same the methods. Sin h of I theta can be written as I sin theta. Cos h of I theta can be written as cos theta. Okay, by using those two formulas, you can determine this cos h, sin h gamma l also. Okay, so then the value of beta can be calculated by multiplying this sin h gamma l with ZC here, and ZC is the underscore root capital Z by Y. Okay, so now if you calculate, if you by substituting all those values, then V value what you are getting here is 393 minus J 72.3. Okay, so if you convert that into polar form, you are getting 70.3 at an angle of 69.2 degrees. Okay, so in a similar manner, you calculate for C 1 by ZC into sin h gamma L. So that value you are getting J 4.4 into 10 power minus 4. Okay, you got all the ABCD parameters. So then you can calculate the sending end voltage as the sending end current also. Okay, right. Before that, the load is given as 60 MVA and receiving end voltage is 124 kilovolts and power factor is 0.8. Okay, so here if you see, power is given, apparent power is given here, not the active power. That means S value is given. So S is equal to, for a three-phase transmission line, this value is equal to √3 into VL into IL. Okay, so here in place of PLIL, you have to write VR into IR. So receiving end voltage and receiving current. So this is the receiving end power of the load, receiving end apparent power. Sorry. So then from this IR, VR value is 124 kilovolts, and SR value is 60 MVA. So then if you substitute those two in this equation, you will get the value of IR. The value of IR is equal to SR by √3 VR. So that value here is, you are getting 279.36 amperes. Okay, so this is the magnitude. Okay, so magnitude of IR, and power factor is given as 0.80 lagging power factor. Okay, cos phi r value is given. So that phi r value is cos phi r value is 0.7, sorry 0.8. So then you can calculate phi r value. That phi r value is at the angle of 36.87 degrees. Okay, so now if you take the reference value as your receiving end voltage, then as the load is lagging, your IR is lagging the VR by an angle of phi r. So you can write this IR. So this is the magnitude of IR. So IR is equal to magnitude of IR at an angle of phi r, as the angle is minus for lagging. Okay, so minus is for lagging load. Okay, so you can write IR as 279.36 at an angle of minus 36.87 degrees, and VR value is 124 kilovolts, which is the line voltage. And if you convert that into phase voltage, you have to divide that with √3. You will get 71.6 kilovolts, which is a phase voltage. Okay, so now after getting VR, IR, and ABCD parameters, you can calculate the VS. VS is A into VR plus B into IR. In this, you know all the values, A, B, VR, IR value. You simply substitute all the values. So then you will get sending end voltage as 87.84 at an angle of 7.12 degrees. So which is in kilovolts. Okay, so if you want sending in line to line voltage, you have to multiply this value with √3. Okay, then you will get 152.14 at an angle of 7.12 degrees as your sending end voltage, which is line to line voltage. Okay, so in a similar way, you can calculate the sending end current as well. So sending end current IS is equal to C into VR plus D into IR, and CD values you are already calculated, and VR, IR also known to you. So if you substitute all the values, you will get the IS value. So that IS value is what you are getting here is 257.78 at an angle of 30.86 degrees. So which is in amperes. Okay, so now after getting the VS and IS, okay, you can calculate the sending end power factor also. So sending end power factor is cos phi s. So now first you have to determine the phi s, which is the angle between VS and IS, right? So you have to draw a simple vector diagram. So now here in vector diagram, VR is reference, and your VS, if you see, 7.12 degrees, which is a plus sign. So it will be leading the reference by an angle of 7.12 degrees. And if you see for sending end current, this sending end current is negative here, angle is negative. So that means this IS is lagging the reference. That means this side you will get. Okay. So this is sending end current. So which is having an angle of 30.86 degrees. 30.86 degrees. So now this phi s angle is angle between Vs and Is. So this total angle. So that means 30.86 plus 7.12 degrees. So that is the power factor angle cos phi s. So then you can determine the power factor as cos of phi s. Okay. See here, cos of phi s is equal to sum of these two, 30.86 plus 7.12, which is 37.98 degrees. So sending in power factor is cos of 37.98 degrees, which is the value of 0.788. So now this 0.788, whether it is lagging or leading, how you can say? So now if you observe this, with your if you observe the Vs and Is, so Vs is this one and Is is this one. So the sending end current Is is lagging the Vs. So this power factor is a lagging power factor. Okay, this is a lagging power factor. Now you got the values of Vs, Is as well as power factor. Then you can calculate the sending end power. PS is equal to √3 Vs Is cos phi s. Okay, so that sending end power is 53.52 megawatts. Okay, so you got the sending end power. So then what is the receiving end power? So receiving end power is not given in the problem, but apparent power is given. That means √3 VR IR value is given. So now that value, if you multiply with your power factor, sending end power factor, so then you will get the receiving end power factor. Then you will get the receiving end power. So PR is equal to S into cos phi R. Cos phi R value is given in the problem itself. That value is 0.8. So if you multiply 60 with 0.8, you will get 48 megawatts, which is the receiving end power. You got the receiving end power, you got the sending end power. So you can determine the efficiency, which is receiving end power by sending end power. So the efficiency of the line is 89.68%. Now voltage regulation is general formula is magnitude of Vs by magnitude of A minus magnitude of VR by magnitude of VR. So now you know the value of magnitude of Vs, you know, and you know the